Hello everyone, my name is Uthris and welcome back to Medieval Engineers Let's Build a Citadel. Last episode we finished up the actual airship kind of dock tower, and so something would be floating right here. They would put out some sort of drawbridge to attach to it and unload and load supplies. Now this thing isn't done just yet. There's a lot of wooden effects that we're going to be adding to make it a little less gray and bland looking, because right now it's just a slight eyesore. I mean, it's interesting shape wise, but color wise it's just not very good. In between episodes though, I added this secondary path, and this is a path that will connect to this structure, and this is something we're going to work on this episode as well. This is going to be a windmill. I figured I wanted one thing of motion in the Citadel, and I think this is a good spot for it just because it's high up. A lot of people can see it from far away, and being near the top of a cliff, I figured the wind would be pretty good. Continuing down this kind of cliffside staircase slash ramp, we come to the actual keep. And I have been laying out the floor and all the rooms and additional staircases as needed to try and come up with a shape I like. I also built up the ramparts and did some minor detailing work. We're not working on the keep this episode. We are just working on some other structures though. So I think what I want to do is just kind of get started on this windmill. I think this is going to be a priority that we're going to be working on today, unless I completely mess up the block placement twice and basically waste a whole bunch of time. There we go. There's that, and we need a pillar to fill that gap. So my game has been starting to chug a little bit when placing blocks. As you guys can probably tell just in the video, we get a little bit of a frame drop just as the structural integrity gets updated every piece that we add on to it. And everything is structurally sound still, except for the tower. The tower still has, I think, 2 spots left that I need to work on. I think it's in here, yeah. I believe it's this. I think wooden floors, and then sometimes when a block is above another one, but not necessarily touching it, so the weight wouldn't be on it, it's interfering with the structural integrity. Sorry about all the bright colors, but as you can see, this block right here, oh god, I'm lost. I'm lost. Oh, there we go. Yeah, these blocks right here are taking a lot of weight. So I'm going to have to think of a way to fix this. And also there's some minor work that needs to be done so the staircase is actually workable without having to turn on your jetpack. I really want these wooden sections, so I'm going to have to try and do something to make that accessible. Yeah, you guys can see the path. I mean, it's going to be effective. It's going to have a nice view all the way down and around. There we go. Okay, that's enough of a detour, I think. Let's just continue on with the build itself. We have a staircase here for getting up to the next level. This lower floor is probably still more for just the day-to-day kind of foot traffic. Where are my blocks? There they are. Let's see. Alright, there we go. That's not going to work, is it? Oh no, it does. That's weird. I didn't think it would, but I guess it's just because there's no archway here. If that arch was there, we wouldn't be able to get our head underneath this little section. Okay. Great. Need to clear those two areas out. Form some sort of railing with these. Yeah, just like that. It's nice and clean. Then we will reorganize our bar just a little bit more. And this will be the first floor of the actual operations. Boop and boop. I think that looks pretty good. Then at this point, what we need to do is bring up the walls in a different kind of way. Let's first give this some type of stone support as well. Just so what I'm about to do is going to make just a little bit more sense with the aesthetic. So we have a nice 2x2 column that we can take all the way up the length of the windmill, but let's try. I'm going to try and cut back on just the plastered kind of look of the walls. And so we're just going to just fade off into more, I think, hand-carved upper section. Like so. So these areas we can grab something like this. As a nice introduction to what we're going to be doing. We need a, would like to keep things into a wooden staircase probably. I think that would just look better for us. Looks good, and then basically I'm going to do the opposite. So these are going to be corners. They're going to be going upwards. It's really boxy. I don't know how I feel about it just yet. Maybe once I start laying down wooden walls, it'll help our look. frame this up. And come to some sort of design conclusion here using these timbers. So that's our space. See, let's do a 2 wide kind of support there. And there, and same on this side. I'm gonna build this almost like a timber frame house. So 2, 2, not 2. Let's just leave it like that. And those 2 openings will be our windows. These round blocks will give a different texture, kind of quality. And then what you can do is do this for some type of color change. So this is detail work. A little bit different than normal for sure. We don't usually do this kind of stuff in my builds, but I get the feeling it's kind of about time we do. Let's just bring that down. Something like this. That's a nice big support looking strut. Okay. That looks interesting for sure. I also don't know how much weight this adds, if any. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Continue that V shape. Doing stuff like this does take a whole lot longer and a whole lot more of your patience. There's going to be a lot of trial and error involved in this kind of work. One, 2, 3, 4. And if I'm able to rotate it, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is going to give us our diagonal kind of shape. I'm probably gonna have to do this up here too. 3, 4. Rotate it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And cap that off. I think here is just gonna be a solid wall. Or, well, solid as you can get using that kind of material. It's looking a little ugly. Yeah, totally ugly, but that's okay. We'll get it figured out. Maybe if there's really nothing I can do. Tell you what. might make sense to just bring up the corners from the get-go and make them stone. Just so things make sense. And then for this, we can just bring this up. And a new support column as well. There we go. A little bit fancier. Can still get inside too. Underneath here for some storage, I guess. Does that help the shape and color of it? A little bit. I mean, you know, just enough to round it off, though. We have these weird gaps here. No real good way to fix that, so I'm just gonna have to cut it off with wood, I think. Now, I'm hoping the windmill doesn't get too much taller. I'm gonna put the blade actually right here. Let's leave our awesome two spot gap, I think. And the reason for this one is we put a hinge block there. And then this will just be a normal wall. Now, I don't think the rotor can actually be placed on this now. I actually had to find a block. And in fact, it's not going to be centered at this rate. May have to scrap this whole idea. Or at least this kind of vision for it. It's not quite right. Oh! I deserve that. I totally deserve that. Let's try... just get rid of all these. Go away, boards. You are unwanted. Now, we chip the wall. Delete, delete. I am going to look at some references and finish this off camera, we can come back and you guys can see something completely different than what I just tried to do. So, yeah. Alright everyone, so this is the current state of our windmill. It's not 100% done by no means. It's missing all the internals, but it has a windmill blade. It spins just from a rotor, and I tried mixing a lot more wood with this one. I took some inspiration from like Dan D&D's kind of stuff on his workshop, on just how he treats structures in general. So like, you know, working wood with the stone to get kind of a more interesting and detailed and layered look. So let's see, let's go on inside. You'll notice that it's a fairly open structure. So the first floor, pretty straightforward, just mainly for walking back and forth like we said earlier in the episode. Second floor, this is the actual kind of processing floor for the wheat, and also, you know, you have a little walkway to check out the view. And then the third floor is probably more storage oriented. If I can get up here, sometimes staircases just don't work very well. So yeah, more storage oriented. You can check the gearing on your windmill. This is kind of going to be an exposed shaft, and it will just drop the gear ratio down. I think I'm going to run it through this little window and then across. And so basically the person will come in here, they'll be met with that beam, and you'll have to walk out here to get to the other side. Little inconveniencing in real life, but I think it's a cool effect at least. Alright, I needed to put that there so it would actually look nice. Alright, hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. As always, you can subscribe to the channel for more gaming goodness. Leave a like, leave a comment on what you would like me to build next, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.